look at this terrible video is quite strong if you have a sensitive heart. Do not look at it, but poor dogs, how they suffer. Stupid people without heart with them. Please, we must stop this massacre.
They'll usually start with the legs because it doesn't kill the dog, so it means that the adrenaline is so much in the dog's system that they believe that the longer they can keep the dog alive whilst they're preparing the meat, then the better it will be for them, I guess.
Every year in June, the eyes of the world turn to the southwest Chinese city of Yulin, where over 10 days, thousands of dogs are slaughtered, butchered, cooked and eaten as dog lovers in China and around the world watch on in horror. But the thousands slaughtered at Yulin are just a drop in the ocean of a trade that, in China alone, is estimated to kill more than 10 million dogs a year.
It's knowing that humans are capable of that. That's probably the hardest part.
Emily Parker is stranded in the UK due to coronavirus. She's desperate to get back to her home in Harbin, northeast China, where hundreds of dogs of all shapes, sizes and heartbreaking backstories are waiting for her. She's a founding member of Slaughterhouse Survivors, a non-profit dog rehab and adoption agency which has saved the lives of 3,000 animals since its inception in 2016.
This is Bonnie and this is Bambi. She was found at a restaurant with her legs broken. So the bone on her forearm was actually completely separated with a gap about that big. Sadly, quite regularly have dogs who come to us where they've already been a part of either the torture or abuse before being rescued. They'll usually start with the legs because it doesn't kill the dog, so it means that the adrenaline is so much in the dog's system that they believe that the longer they can keep the dog alive whilst they're preparing the meat, then the better it will be for them, I guess.
It's legal to eat and sell dog meat in China, and despite it being in no way part of the mainstream diet, due to the country's immense population, the market still accounts for a third of the world's 30 million dog meat trade death toll.
According to a 2014 study on the dog meat industry, China produced 97,000 tons of dog meat.
Peter Lee is an associate professor of East Asian politics at the University of Houston downtown and a China policy specialist for animal rights campaign group Humane Society International. He's travelled to China on several occasions to expose the cruelty of the trade.
This is my dog, rescued from China, Kobe.
It has been promoted by the business interest, by the dog meat traders. Now they try to promote the dog meat as something good for building your body, good for enhancing your sex drive, and warming up your body.
According to research conducted by animal rights charity Animals Asia, the practice is most prevalent in northeast, central and southern China, where the meat is believed to be somewhat of a health tonic and good for warming the body in the cold months. In some parts of China, the meat is sold canned or processed into easy-to-eat foodstuffs like dog meat sausages, packaged roast dog legs, and even dog penis snack packages. The industry claims the meat comes from legal dog meat farms. However, activists investigating these claims found no evidence of farms large enough to meet market demand, concluding that many of the dogs are former pets, snatched from the streets to be sold for slaughter.
One university professor in China did a study of dog theft in a village in suburban Jinan, capital city of Shandong, and she found out in that particular village, 87% of the households had lost the dogs in the last few years. 87%.
Gangs of dog thieves capture strays or steal pets, sometimes, according to Chinese media reports, through the use of anesthetic-tipped needles shot from blowpipes or laser-sighted crossbows.
We went to slaughterhouses and we inspect those dogs in the slaughterhouses. We see collars, and some dogs even have a jacket on. Right? I witnessed the dogs waiting to be slaughtered were trembling and huddling with each other. They slaughtered all the dogs in the morning, but they left 12 dogs for slaughter in the next day. And all these 12 dogs stood in the pool of blood. And I went close to them, every one of them avoid eye contact with me.
Despite it being legal to sell and eat dogs, those in the trade often flout Chinese food safety laws by transporting them across provincial borders without legitimate paperwork. This gives activists an opportunity to rescue some of the doomed dogs. Here's how it works.
Now, the main part of the industry starts with the transporters. They collect dogs from all these individual, dog thieves. And then they would call a driver and load the dogs onto the truck and sent to different, slaughterhouse.
Quite often they'll try to go down country roads to try and stop this from happening, but
When a truck was loaded with dogs was spotted by anyone on the highway,
they'll call the local authorities
to send, text messages out.
because they know that these dogs shouldn't be on the trucks. They're illegally being transported. There's so many local activists, they'll actually try and barricade the trucks
The police would stop the truck.
and ask them for the papers to see whether they do have the documents, which inevitably they don't.
The drivers would have to, give up the dogs.
And then the dogs get handed over to organisations such as ourselves.
You're almost free, baby.
Before arriving at the shelter, the dogs are checked for disease and given vaccines. Then begins the long process of rehabilitating them, ready to be flown to forever homes around the world.
A lot of them, we need to spend a lot of time just behaviourally with them to build up trust.
The yearly bill, met by donations, is more than £600,000, and Emily estimates she spent around £30,000 of her own money on the rescue effort.
Yeah, wouldn't change any of it at all. They're worth everything.
Peter says attitudes in China towards the trade are changing as the pet-owning middle class grows and animal protection activists heap social media pressure on the public.
Animal lovers are winning the debate, right? Even though they are not close to the final victory, but the other side is absolutely on the defensive.
In 2018, the Dog and Cat Meat Prohibition Act was enshrined in law in the United States, making it illegal to kill, transport or sell dogs or cats for human consumption. And as coronavirus spreads across China, the government there have introduced laws banning the sale and consumption of wild animals, with one South China city, Shenzhen, going further, drafting legislation which explicitly bans eating dog meat. In the UK, however, it's still not illegal to kill and eat dogs. Campaign groups and MPs say the lack of a specific ban sets a bad example to other countries where the practice is more common.
It's because we're a world leader in animal welfare, we need to wave the flag to the rest of the world. What we can do in this country is pass a law that outlaws the consumption of dog and cat meat. It's not for us to dictate to other cultures what they should or should not eat, but it's for us to say, this is what we do. If you like it, follow us.